Alright guys, so I wasn't really planning on reviewing this game, but here we are. I don't think I talked about the first one, so let me just go over my thoughts on the first one real quick before we jump into the second one. So Origami Yoda, the original book, alright, I know everybody used to read this at your local school book fair. You'd grab it off the shelf and you were too poor to actually buy the book. So you would just grab the book, sit on the floor, and just build your little origami Yoda, read the book. It was great. That was a while ago. Didn't do a video on it, but now the sequels finally come out. Origami Chewbacca. I know this has been highly anticipated by you guys. Both of them are on Game Pass, so it's a steal. Don't pay real money for these. You just get them through Game Pass. You get to build your little origami characters. The final piece in the trilogy, Origami Darth Vader, is coming soon, but we will get to that another time. What? Oh. So I've unfortunately been informed that we're not talking about the Origami Star Wars series, but rather Aragami, however the hell you pronounce this game, too. That's a game and not a book. So this is what we'll be reviewing today. We'll make a mini series on those books some other time. So now that 90% of the audience has left over my unfunny minute and a half skit about Origami Star Wars, that was hilarious. Let's talk about what this game actually is. So if you didn't play the first one, it's a stealth kind of old Assassin's Creed style game, right? And so the first one is more level based, right? And this one's definitely level based also. But the first one's definitely just here's a level. It's, basically a square. Take out these enemies, reach the exit. You get points for not killing enemies. You get points for not getting seen, stealth kills, hiding bodies, all that good stuff. You can teleport, turn invisible, hide in bushes. It's basically your old school Assassin's Creed. And so that was the first one, was fine. You get abilities and stuff. The second one comes out, which is what we'll be reviewing today. And so this one just expands more on that original idea. It's a bit more open, there's new abilities, some more customization that wasn't in the first game. But, at its basics, it's old school Assassin's Creed. And so before we get started, I want to say I'm typically pretty good at stealth. Right, Assassin's Creed, I know it's not the hardest stealth thing ever, but Metal Gear Solid, Ghost Recon, all that type of stuff, great. Top tier, S tier. This game, and even the first one, are so hard. I don't know why, but they're very difficult. Alright, so let's talk about the bad and kind of get that out of the way. So I really only have two things to say about the bad of this game. Alright? And so when you're not playing Assassin's Creed, for example, right, sticking with my analogy, doing a little stealth, hide in the bushes, gameplay, there's actual combat. And, well, Assassin's Creed handles it well, because it's a AAA, multi-billion-dollar franchise that's been going for over 10 years. Aragami, not so much, right? It's super basic, X to attack, Y to counter, B to dodge. That's it. That's all there is to it, really. But it's not as good, right? It's not as flowy. It's significantly less satisfying than any of the stealth. I feel like when you get a good flow going in this game, playing stealthily, it feels really good. And this, obviously this is not how you're meant to play, right? It's meant to be a stealth game, but if you get detected, it has to have some kind of combat mechanic in there. I don't know if this is what it needed to be, or if this just needs to be refined more. But I've also just never been a fan of the attack or block till they're out of stamina to land a blow type combat that this game uses. So that's not the main focus of the game, but like I said, we're doing the negatives first, and let's talk about the other thing that I'm not a huge fan of. So other games recently, there's been this whole trend with the open world and RPGs been coming back, but what this game does that tries to imitate that, personally, I'm just not a fan of. I think it's too complicated for a game like this. Is they have like a hub, if you've played Monster Hunter, it really reminds me of that, where you have a skill tree area and a forge area and a this and a that and then a mission board. This game does not need all of that. Literally just give me a menu, right? And you have stamina in here and fall damage, so you can't even sprint a lot of the time. Like this can, let me press start and see this. I don't need a hideout to do all of this, right? But that's just me. I'm sure a lot of people like this, But I just think for the type of game it is, this simplistic, just Game Pass, quick play type of game, it doesn't need all this area. Again, I don't care about the story, really. The gameplay is really what I focus on here. I think that's what this game really brings, and this area just puts that on the back burner for too long. This could all just be a menu. Now, for what works, obviously, the stealth, the assassinations, the parkour, that all works great for the most part. Obviously, it's not the most graphically impressive game you've ever played, right? It looks fine for what it's trying to do. It doesn't look great, but it does its job, right? That's my semi-negative, my neutral category. That's what you want to call it, right? Also, the takedowns, there's probably about 3 or 4 of them. That's about it. So that gets repetitive, but again, personally, it's what I expect from a game like this, so it doesn't bother me. But the good, I've talked a lot of bad, but what's the good? Why am I making a review of this game? Alright, the flow when you fail, if you're like me, you have to get an S. Alright, there's a rating system on each level, and so I don't accept an A, I don't accept a B or C, S only. Alright, that's the only score I'll take. So if you get detected, or you don't kill everybody, or you don't knock out everybody, or, you die, have to restart the level, you lose score. Unacceptable, restart the level. So when you've played the level just a bunch of times, over and over again, or you just analyze an area really well, and you locate all the guard positions, and use all of your abilities to, decide, set your traps, and decide how you're going to take everybody out, and you're just flying all over the place. I also think this game works well as like a speedrunning type game, right? If you like to just go really slow and take your time and methodically take out each guard, like an Assassin's Creed style thing, that works. 99% sure that's how most people are going to play and how it's designed to play. But because of the sprint and the jump distance and the teleport, you can definitely make this a speedrunning, just jumping all over the place, assassination, that's just flying, right? Once you know the level and the guard locations and all of that. So now that we've talked about our vocab word, or essential gameplay loop, what's the progression, right? Why do you keep playing? What's the point of progressing through each level? So you can find gold, which you can use to buy new swords, new face masks, and new armor and all that stuff. You can use it for upgrades and stuff. There's a skill tree. You can buy shurikens. The skill tree has all types of crazy stuff on it, like making lanterns explode, turning invisible around corners, stuff, just stuff like that. And so you're really upgrading your character more and more as the levels get harder and harder, and they already start out pretty difficult in my opinion. So is this game worth getting? Should you try it? Well, if you're like me and you've been struggling to find something to play, and you're just trying to make it to Far Cry and Battlefield and Call of Duty and all of that stuff, and you've been just struggling, really nothing to play out there right now, right? Well, then here you go. Here's something. It's fun. It's not bad, right? It's definitely halfway decent. It's new. It's something different, or at least different than what we've seen recently. It is just Assassin's Creed, but this style of Assassin's Creed we haven't seen since at least Syndicate. That's what you want to call it. But now let's talk price point. All right. I'm gonna actually look this one up because I don't remember what game it was, but with some game I want to say it was Back for Blood, maybe, I don't know. I was like, there's no way this game's $60, and then I looked it up after the video and it was $60. So this game is way too much money. It's $40. Do not pay $40 for this game. If you're on Xbox, if you're on PlayStation or PC, buy an Xbox. It's not worth $60. Or worth $40, or probably even $20. This is a good $10 game. It's fun. It's there. You're not gonna grind it and play it all day. You're probably gonna play it as your off game when you just get bored of your main game. But that's my opinion. If you got Game Pass, check it out. Play it a little bit. Play it here and there. I'm showing stuff from the beginning of the game, because I don't want to show any of the further levels, really, because once you get that flow and like finding your own flow and what buildings to use and what cover to go, I just wanted to show the tutorial level so that you guys would get to make your own paths when you're taking out enemies. So what do I give this game out of 10, considering it's a Game Pass game, and with Game Pass, like I always do, I try to give 2 ratings, right? A Game Pass rating, right, if that makes sense, and then a retail, whatever the game costs if you don't have Game Pass rating, right? And then, see, I view Game Pass as basically it's free, but for the sake of reviewing, I'll say it's $5. You could also get it for $1. Technically, it's free if you're doing Game Pass, but whatever, we'll say it's $5. So, for the Game Pass score, right? You already have Game Pass. You're not buying Game Pass for this game. Should you check it out? I would say it's worth it. It's probably like a 7 out of 10, right? Now, you don't have Game Pass, this game costs $40. It's probably like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. There's not, in my opinion, there's not enough there. It's not unique enough from the first one where that you could get significantly cheaper if you weren't getting on Game Pass and were actually paying for it. But that's just my opinion. People really like this game. I think, like I said, it's a fun secondary game. If you get burnt out on your main game, need something to play, this is fun to play. But I don't see anyone spending $40 on this. Like, there's just not enough there. It's just stealth assassinations. Right? If I really wanted to play this, I could just go play, like I've been saying the whole video, Assassin's Creed. So that's my opinion. I don't hate the game, but I don't think it does anything crazy to make it worth the $40 that they ask for it. But that's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you've played this one, if you've played the first one, if you want to see an Aragami Yoda book review, and I'll see you guys on the next one.